She's finally showing the cabins I always talk about. There's the cabins I stay in the summer. This cabin right here on the end, the door is right here, looks right on to Old Faithful. And I asked the one lady, I said, how'd you get that cabin? She says, I don't know, we just got lucky. She was all excited. Because you could sit out there in your lawn chair and just watch. My cabin's always back deeper in because I like to be in the shady side of the trees because those are all out in the sun. And I like to leave the dogs in the cabin. They don't have air conditioning or anything like that. You can leave the windows open. They got screens. But you definitely want to try to get back in the shade. And that cabin tends to be out in the sun. She's never left the camera, swung over. Problem is there's ice on the lens. You can see it. Maybe she forgot. She never looks this way. That's why I'm filming it so I can watch it later. And this is the porch over here. There's like a porch with the Old Faithful Lodge. There's a dining facility in here, and there's a porch out here with rocking chairs. We always sit out there, and all the people are up here on these benches sitting out in the sun. We're up under the covered porch and rocking chairs watching the eruptions. Ooh, you can see all the snow on the roof. Nobody's staying in those now. I rented 4 weeks this year because I do it a year out, and it's hard, it's impossible to get a week in one of these cabins, but I do it a year out so I can do that. And the reason I do it is you can cancel and change everything around. I learned that a few years ago. They just sent me an email. Oh, a new policy, any change to any of the reservation, you'll be charged $15 if you do it later than 30 days before you're going to get there. So I'm going to have to look at my 4 different weeks I've got deposits on, figure out maybe which 2 I want to keep, get rid of the other ones so I'm not charged, the change fee. Because I'll probably only stay one of the weeks, and it's going to be the one that's over 4th of July. Finally figured out after all these years that it's better to be in these cabins during the 4th of July when all the people are in all the other places. It's madness. It doesn't really affect Yellowstone a lot. There's always a lot of people there. It's just like the Grand Canyon, though. You get the people that won't go off. They'll come over here and watch Old Faithful. You hike back in Upper Geyser Basin over here, or you can actually hike up here to an observation area up on top of this mountain. There's nobody around you. It's like you own the whole national park to yourself. And the Grand Canyon is the same way. If you go a mile below the rim, you don't see too many people because everyone wants to be close to the cars. Anyway, we'll just keep filming these cabins. I'm glad I clicked on the camera. It's getting out of focus because of the trees. Yeah, I wonder if you could request that cabin. I wouldn't want that cabin because I have the dogs. And I'd be afraid one little screw up with Shaggy. He runs out here. He's pretty more obedient to me now than when I first got him. But there's all kinds of geysers out here he'd boil to death in, and he loves to swim. In fact, we had the first year I had him, I've only had him a couple of months. We stayed in one of these cabins here, and he got out the door, and he wouldn't come back to me. And some little kid was playing. I said, call Shaggy, because Shaggy likes kids. And so the kid starts calling, Shaggy, Shaggy. And Shaggy stopped. He's looking at us. He knew something was up. I'm like, please, 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 keep begging Shaggy. And so the kid kept calling him. And he slowly came over to the kid. I'm like, just stay calm. I'm going to run up and grab him. I ran up and grabbed him. Because if he had got loose out there, he would have ran into one of those geysers and boiled to death. So she is acting because she's moving the camera around. And there goes that's the last of the, maybe that's why she turned the camera this way. There's more ice on it this way. See that? I wondered why she did it. The lady will never ever focus on the cabins. And I say the lady because there's a lady off site somewhere in Missouri, a big donor to the park who controls this camera. She's not on site. I talked to the rangers in the visitor center last year, and they said, yeah, they have her phone number, and they can call her and ask her to point it at something, but she controls the camera. And I'll give her this, she's always on the camera. You never see it just sitting here unattended. Now she's going back to the wood line, This is where I made all my videos last summer along the wood line, where I talk about cutting through the wood line, where you gotta yell, here Grizz, then you come out this way, and you go around the back side of Upper Geyser Basin. Well, that's the end of the cabins anyway, but that's as long as I've ever seen her focus on those. At least I can watch the video later. That's an awesome camera they got in there. It's up in the peak of the Welcome Center. See, it's behind these windows. The Welcome Center looks like a big church steeple with it's all glass windows, and the camera's at the very top, up at the top of the triangle, behind the glass. So if there's any ice on the glass of the window of the Welcome Center, that's what the camera's picking up. You'd think they would have invented a way to put that behind some glass, maybe where they had some maybe heated glass or something they could melt the ice off. Expensive camera like this.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just going to let it run on here, and I'll put the...
We're clear.